Thank you for listening to this PodcastOne production. Now available on Apple Podcasts, PodcastOne, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.
PodcastOne presents the Steve Austin Show Classics.
We rolling sound. Man, I left the MDR, Marina Del Rey, to come down here and talk to CT Fletcher and the LBC. Now, let me break that down for y'all. That's Long Beach. That's California talk.
That's it.
CT, man, it's good to meet you. We started talking on a text message, man. Mark Bell. We got to give him a shout out. Smelly Bell hooked us up. He's running a super training gym over in Sacramento, strongest gym in the West. He said, hey, man, what about talking to CT Fletcher on your podcast? I said, well, goddamn, I said, it'd be great, but he might know who the fuck I am.
Oh, please.
So as it turns out, man, so he gave me a number. We started texting back and forth, and you went down to England. What was you doing down in England?
Down in England trying to stir up some new business for my goddamn sponsor, Isotori, trying to stir up some business for them, break some new ground, and get everybody to buy some of my goddamn supplements when they come out, Steve.
No, what's the deal with the supplements you got coming out?
Yeah, I got a CT Fletcher Signature Series. Isotori is my sponsor. Isotori will be making the CT Fletcher Supplement Series. And, man, can you believe that? Some poor little kid from Compton got his own fucking supplements.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that because, you know, within, the Steve Austin Show goes all around the world. And there's a couple of guys over there in, Malaysia, might not have heard of CT Fletcher, but if you're from the bodybuilding or the powerlifting world, everybody knows who you are. And through your YouTube channel, CT Fletcher, personal trainer.
Well, yeah, I guess you would call me.
Dude, you got millions and millions and millions of downloads.
Yeah,
so motherfuckers who lift iron know who you are.
Yeah, if you lift iron, but some people say, CT, are you famous? And fuck no. And I tell you why. Because I can go to the car wash, the grocery store, and the motherfucker won't even say shit. But if I was Stone Cold Steve Austin, if I stick my fucking head out the door, I'm going to be mobbed. Now, that's fucking famous.
See, when you're prowling down the grocery store with the shopping basket, you got 22-inch jacks, you know, and you look like you look, and ain't too many people going to fuck with you anyway.
Fucking with me and recognize me are two different things, Stone Cold.
So, man, what I figured, man, just coming down here, I just wanted to shoot the shit.
Oh, let's do it.
And ask questions and go back and forth because it turns out that, hell, you actually knew who I was. You're a little bit of a pro wrestling fan.
God, I'm a super pro wrestling fan. I go all the way back to the 60s. I'm a child of the 60s. And goddamn it, when pro wrestling come on, Judo, Gene LaBelle was the fucking announcer. Me and my brother would run to the fucking TV and slide like we're still at home.
Do you remember any of the big stars that was around back then?
Of course I do. Bruno Sammartino, the flame-throwing Sheik, John Tolis, and Rocky Soul Man Johnson.
Right.
Of course I remember.
Okay, so you've been lifting for quite a while.
Yes, sir.
Did you dig, like Superstar Billy Graham? He's one of the first real body guys in the business of pro wrestling. So you had to dig him,
of course.
Right? And the thing about him was, man, when he started talking shit, nobody talked shit like Superstar.
He had the big fucking arms, and he was an exceptional shit talker. Right. A shit talker extraordinaire, as I like to call him.
I don't think you could coin it any better than that. But you started out down in Little Rock, Arkansas.
I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas.
So how the fuck did you end up in Compton and Watts and now here in LBC?
I had no choice in the matter. I was fucking 3 years old, and wherever my crazy-ass daddy took me, that's where the fuck I went, Steve. So we upgraded to Compton.
You upgraded?
Yeah.
But your dad was a preacher, right?
Yes, he was. A fire and brimstone. Every fucking thing is a sin. Kind of whoop your motherfucking ass kind of preacher.
Right.
That kind of preacher.
But, it was funny, man, because I've been watching your videos for about at least a year. Because I found out about you. I was like, man, this motherfucker's strong, and he's bad, and he talks a lot of shit. That's right up my alley. But so, and I was listening to a story, one of your YouTube videos, which, again, got millions and millions of downloads. You and your brother, y'all would just sit there and entertain each other. And, when you could, when Dad wasn't around, and just invent cuss words.
Exactly. I mean, that's what we did. Anytime we foreign objects, like the kind you used to hide in your trunks when you're fucking somebody up in the ring. Right. If I seen a foreign object, I would call my brother that. Right. He would be a broken spoon motherfucker, bent up motherfucker, whatever the fuck, trash can head motherfucker. We just invented cuss words because that was our form of entertainment.
But with your dad being a religious guy, surely he ain't hearing you guys lay this down, is he?
Oh, hell no. I wouldn't be here sitting here talking to you right now if he did, Steve.
But so if you come from a religious background and you talk all this shit, I mean, where do you draw the line there?
Okay.
Because some people, I cuss like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
and so that's why we're doing the Unleash show.
I like that.
But some religious people just, they rarely cuss. And they draw a line there. And
he drew the line. He was not a cusser. I mean, he was an ass beater, a super hard dude. He was in the Korean War, and he went in at 16. So it made him a little loony. And, I didn't know why he was loony at the time, but he was a loony son bitch, and he used to fuck me up for, breathing the wrong way. Right. So being around super religious people made me not want to be super religious. That's what really did it. I haven't gone to church in many, many years. Last time I went, my daughter got married. But, other than special occasions like that, because I've seen people, the fire and brimstone preachers that are super, super religious do some of the fucked uppest things outside of church that, I'm like, so I'm not super, super religious, but believe me, I believe in God, that's for sure.
So now I know you're right in the middle of filming a movie. We're filming a part of this, might end up making your movie. So tell me a little bit about what the movie's about.
It's my life story. It's a documentary about CT motherfucking Fletcher, the Superman from Compton, the master, Mr. I command you to grow. And I'm here with stunning Steve Austin. I bet you motherfuckers don't go back that far, do you?
By the time I get through, I rolled in here, I get 18 3/4 inch jack. And by the time I get through, I might be close to 20 just by listening
to 20.
My arms to fucking grow.
Close to 20. You're gonna leave out this motherfucker, the mighty IAG with 20-inch arms.
You got you got a certain kind of mantra you live by, and it's what does it go?
It's still your motherfucking set, Steve, and that has actually it started with nothing to do with wrestling whatsoever. My mother is the inspiration for Still Your Motherfucking Said. I watched that woman for 40 years of her life. Of her 63 years on this life, she was seriously ill. She was in and out the hospital all the time, emergency rooms all the time. And I don't give a fuck what condition she was in. She'd be under an oxygen tent. And I would ask her, I'd say, hey, Mom, how you doing? And she'd say, I'm blessed. Her answer was always, I'm blessed, no matter how sick she was, no matter what she was going through. And that was my example, to no matter what comes at me, what happens to me, I'm blessed, man. I'm still alive, so it's still my motherfucking set. I keep rolling, keep doing what I got to do. My mother was the inspiration for that.
And so, no matter what happens, it's still the onus is on you.
Long as you live it, long as you breathe.
Don't sit there and lie. Don't sit there and bitch and complain.
Get your punk ass up and do what you got to do. That's
so
right.
It's a positive message.
Yes, sir.
And
definitely.
you sure go about expressing it in an interesting fashion. It's a interesting thing. Now, here was a Facebook post you put out a couple years ago, and I'm gonna read it, but these are your words, and correct me if I'm wrong. It says, I didn't expect to live a long time. That's why you see me ranting and raving in my vids. I don't have much time. I have a mission that I must fulfill before I leave this world. I know better than most. Tomorrow is not promised. You can be cut down at any moment. Death is uncaring. Your undone list means nothing to this cruel master. I don't fear death at all. I've seen it up close, shook hands with it, embraced it, and was covered up by it. It was peaceful, but I was spared that permanent peace for a while longer. Why? Why me? I'm nothing special. A hard man who lived a hard life. I don't deserve this second chance. But be that as it may, here I am. And damn it, I'm going to kick, yell, scream, and cause a motherfucking ruckus. And free as many of you as I possibly can from the prison of your own mind. Free from doubt, free from fear, free from the chains that bind you. I'm going to do it by proving to you, you have it within you to control that which is most important. The effort that you give in the weight room, in school, on your job, in fucking life. The effort is always controlled by you. And ladies and gents, motherfuckers and motherfuckies, the goddamn effort is the key. It is the thing that legends are made of, the thing that lasts long after we're dead and gone. 300, one of my personal favorite movies, is an example of this. The Spartans lost, but the fucking effort they gave makes them immortal. Call me crazy if you want, I don't care one bit. But I want that kind of death. Fighting, yelling, giving every ounce of will I have to muster. Hell no, I will not go quietly into the night. I'm CT motherfucking Fletcher, and I'm on a mission, if only for a moment, to shake the world down to its fucking foundation.
God damn,
Did you post that?
He said that shit better than I said it. You goddamn right.
You got an audience in here. People watching. Hell, I damn near got a little nervous saying that. But you posted that.
Yes,
now,
sir.
that was due, to the heart attack you suffered, or several heart attacks? Tell me the story about this, because back in the day, you was a world-class powerlifter, lifting
sir.
like a motherfucker, but you had a very famous lunch, and you ate every single day for 20 years, which ultimately caused your demise.
Yeah.
Talk about that lunch, and then I want you to talk about these words of inspiration.
Well, yeah, the lunch that everybody refers to as 4 Big Macs, 4 fries, a couple apple pies, and a strawberry shake. I had that every day at lunchtime. They'd have it waiting for me when I got there.
And that's right at 5,000 calories.
Yes.
And
Well,
goddamn, there's a lot of fucking fat in there.
You know what? I never even counted how many calories it was. It didn't make a fuck to me. I just wanted to eat I thought that the answer was to eat as much as possible and be as big as possible. I had one philosophy. Like I said, I didn't plan on living a long time.
Right.
I just wanted to fucking be the biggest monster, sidewalk cracking monster on the fucking planet.
Right.
And I thought that's what it took.
So, but after doing that for 20 some odd years, it caught up to you. How did the problems start manifesting and presenting themselves? And you say, "Hey, man, I got a fucking problem."
Yeah. Well, it was that. It was the eating like that. It was also, my doctors told me, the strain of all that fucking heavy powerlifting for all those years. And the fact that my mom was already, it was in my, I was hereditary to me. Heart disease was hereditary to me. So it started by me not being able to breathe. I'm like, fuck, I'm sitting here having a conversation like me and you are, and I'm fucking having a breathing attack. I just fucking could not breathe, and I couldn't figure out what the fuck it was. So I went to the doctors, and one of them MC squared motherfuckers examined me and found out, say, your aortic valve is fucked up. It's not working right. It's about to go out. And if that motherfucker go out, CT, you ain't going to be around no longer.
Right.
So that's how I found out just not being able to breathe is what was the
So they go in there, and they did open heart surgery.
Yes, sir.
What all did they do? They fixed the aortic valve, but was there other shit in there? Was all the cholesterol you was eating compounding the problem?
Oh, definitely. They, I had also have another surgery for unclogged some arteries, as you can imagine. After all those years of doing that, I had some fucked up arteries, and they put in implanted a metal valve in my chest, a new aortic valve made out of titanium. So when
they busted out the technology on you.
Goddamn right. But
what year was this?
This was 2005.
Okay, so technology was good at
10 years ago.
So what did it tell you? Prognosis, because, man, you was about 325.
Yes, sir.
And you was pushing some heavy weight. You had world records.
Yes.
And then this surgery pretty much decimated your ass.
Oh, man, yeah. Pretty much is an understatement. I was fucked up. I had to sleep for months sitting down. After I got out of the hospital, and I spent a lot of months in the hospital, up against the wall, because if I laid down, I couldn't breathe. I was still having problems breathing. They cut my diaphragm during the surgery and fucked that up. So I still had a lot of recuperating to do after I got out of the hospital.
So how long did it take for you to start feeling like, okay, hey, man, I can start getting back in the gym again? But before we go there, I mean, how did that fuck with your head? Because as men, man, we spend our whole lives trying to get buffed up, to get strong, to overcome everything that life's going to throw at you. And because, like here in Iron Addicts Gym, I mean, the atmosphere here is very competitive. Got some badass athletes in here. And all of a sudden you're laying down and you're wilting away. You feel like a piece of shit. And you ain't a man no more. How did that fuck with your head?
Steve, as you know, you are a badass, the toughest wrestler to ever step through the fucking ropes. But as a weightlifter, because I know you're a weightlifter also, we get upset when we lose anything what we call size. And, 5 pounds to us is a fucking tragedy. To a normal person would not be, oh, fuck, I lost 5 pounds.
Right.
And people look at us like we fucking crazy. But to go from 325 down to 185, now that's
drastic.
Yeah, that's fucking, you can imagine.
Cut your ass in half.
Yes, you can imagine. I mean, I was walking around thinking that I was the fucking strongest thing on the planet, and there was a lot of strong son bitches out there. and I thought I was the king of the fucking beast. And to go down to, I had friends that knew me for 25 years where I'm sitting this close to them,
right,
and they didn't even recognize me. So I went from, king of the beast to a fucking skeleton, and it fucked with me big time. It fucked with me big time. And it was the only thing that snapped me out of it was, and I think this, you'll be able to resonate with this, a young doctor come into the room one day, and I'm in a wheelchair because I had to stay in a wheelchair for a while, and he says, you CT Fletcher? And I said, you goddamn right I'm CT Fletcher. He said, you're a fucking world champion powerlifter. He said, you goddamn right I was a world champion powerlifter. And he dropped his head and he shook it, and with disgust in his eyes, he looked at me and said, man, what happened to you? What happened to you? Woo-wee. Rattlesnake, that motherfucker gave me the drive that I needed.
Really?
Yes, he did. That fucking disgusting look that he gave me, and I sit there in that wheelchair and I say, you know what? I didn't think I would ever be able to lift weights again. Right. I said, you know what? I'm going to show your fucking ass that I can come back from this shit. I said, you stay your punk ass around here long enough, I'll be back, motherfucker.
That's the thing that motivated you?
Yes,
just
sir.
The disdain and the disgust what he
looked
at you and
the
said,
way he looked
you're the
at
world
me.
champion powerlifter?
Yeah, he's like,
he knew who you was.
Yes. He's like, it's over. You'll never... Don't tell me that I can't fucking do something. I know that you know about it.
Yeah. I said that a couple times myself.
Yes,
So
sir.
how do you embark on the comeback trail? You're weighing about $180. You feel like shit. I mean, you former world champion, world-class lifter. So how did you start back? What was the protocol? Just going through the paces and just doing like, just grunt style? I'll
tell you what it was. See, I was literally the walking dead because 3 times during that surgery I flatlined. 3 times during that surgery, and I almost bought into not being able to come back. Doctor told me I never lift weights again. But after that, young doctor came in here and done that. I made up. I made one little goal, and my goal was to walk around my block. If I could just walk around my block one fucking time.
That's a humble start.
That's it. And just walk, man. I wasn't even thinking about lifting weights, but if I could just make it around the block without fucking falling out, then that was my start. That was my goal.
Okay, now we're sitting here right now. It's 2015, so that was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
And right now, you clocking in your 5'11", what, 235?
225.
225. You got to. When someone guesses your weight by 10 pounds over, that's great.
Yeah.
So if I'd have said, "What are you, 215?" That would have been an insult.
Yeah.
To
You
a
know
weightlifter.
Yep, you know it. You know
To a chick, it wouldn't have been an insult, but to a weightlifter, he said, "No, man, I'm fucking 225." So you still got the 22-inch jacks. How long did it take you to get to where you're back at now and looking like $1 million?
Well, 2000, I don't know about $1 million, but 2000.
990,000, goddamn, as far down as I'm going.
I think it probably took 3 years. 3 years to get back to looking halfway decent. And it was because I had a deep hole to climb out of, as far as high as I guess you would say in the weightlifting world I went, that low and more, and down, man. People didn't recognize me, like I said. And
so what did you do from a nutrition standpoint, man? Because obviously you're not going to be eating all them damn double cheeseburgers and all that bullshit. So now what are you eating like?
Now I have my turkey, chicken breast, all that clean shit. And, people talk about, they say it's a diet and it's so hard because the diet food is nasty. You know what, I think that's fucked up. I'm not eating for the taste. I'm eating now because I want to stay alive. So I don't give a fuck what it tastes like. If it's going to help me stay around and see my grandkids, I got 15 of them now, Steve, right, then I'll eat that shit. Nasty or not.
You're listening to another classic episode of The Steve Austin Show, only on PodcastOne.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more. And Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's simple. Go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Steve Austin Unleashed.
So let's go back to the powerlifting days. What kind of numbers were you putting up back in the day?
Okay, my best bench press in competition with the pause and everything was 650. But inside the gym, I had touch and go with 705.
Now that 650, that was raw. Was it raw?
Yes,
sure?
I done 650 raw in competition.
See, that's unheard of.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody's. I mean, the suits to me. I mean, the shirts kind of a little overboard these days. I saw Tony Atlas. Do you remember Tony?
Yeah,
Tony Atlas?
hell yeah.
Me and Tony Atlas used to travel a little bit back in the day. And I was playing football at North Texas State, and Tony came in, and he benched 550 that day. He missed 6, but would have got it had he went for that on his 550 attempt, because he blew 550 up like it wasn't nobody's business. But the game has changed so much. Do you keep up with powerlifting anymore?
Yeah.
I dig it, and of course, being friends with Mark Bell as you are. I like how Stan everything has kind of gone back raw. Mark now is kind of going back raw. I'm enjoying seeing that trend where the guys are under-equipping rather than over-equipping, and we're still seeing really what they can lift.
That's it, Steve. I mean, when you go raw, I mean, it's just you and the iron. I mean, Eric Spoto,
right?
722 raw.
Right.
That's a strong motherfucker. And what's the other guy's name? The bench press guy that he had the raw and he crip world record.
Yeah, man, I'm just escaping me right now.
Yeah, that motherfucker. That's a bad dude. He's a fucking friend of mine too, and I fucking can't remember his goddamn name.
Let's talk about some of the motivational or some of the training videos you got on YouTube, because to me, I mean, they're motivational as hell. People always ask me, "Hey, Steve, how do you stay motivated?" Well, I'm kind of motivated anyway, but sometimes, man, I'll check out your shit. I'll check out some stuff off of Elite FTS. I'll go to Super Training. I'll check out some of that stuff. But you, with the language and your style, really captured me, and I gravitated to watching your videos, because you're doing some damn curls, and I don't know what the weight was, but you're just telling to grow, motherfucker, grow. Now, it sounds good, but it ain't that easy.
No.
Because with it, I mean, obviously you have great genetics.
Yes.
Not everybody going to come down as much as they might want it. Ain't going to get a 22-inch arm.
Yep.
But the fact, and I think what you preach is to maximize whatever your genetic potential is.
Right. And the only fucking way you're going to know what that is get your ass in there and work. People are always looking for a fucking easy way out, man. They want the easiest thing, 5-minute abs and 5-minute whatever. If you see a motherfucker with some great abs, he did not do that shit in 5 minutes. And if you say he did, he a motherfucking lie. And I said so. That
along with the fact that he's got to have some type of nutritional program, because you can work out your abs for 5 minutes or an hour, but if you ain't got the right nutrition and you ain't got a low enough body fat, you ain't gonna see those motherfuckers.
It ain't gonna show. It is not gonna show. You know what? I want to switch this conversation back to wrestling, if you don't mind.
Okay, one more lifting question.
Let's get it.
Tell me about the penitentiary style weightlifting system. What's that all about?
All right. Now, people assume that I spent 20 years locked up in the penitentiary, which is not true. I've done a lot of county time in the county jail, but I've never been to the penitentiary. But I have a whole gang of relatives, the most famous being Junior Miles.
I love the Junior Miles story.
Who spent plenty
Shut the fuck up.
That's it. Everybody. Who spent plenty of time in the penitentiary. But when they would come out briefly to see the family, he would show us how he lifted in the pens.
Right.
So that's how I learned penitentiary style lifting.
So what was that style?
Oh, man. Not complete, extended. Like when I was in powerlifting, we had to do everything, full extension, pauses, and everything like that. But in penitentiary style, it's rapid fire, back and forth, and not a complete full extension to keep constant. I thought we used to laugh at guys like that.
Right.
And we say, man, that motherfucker ain't doing that right. He's not, that's, what the fuck? That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
But, they was big as fuck. So, I talked shit about them, and I gave that shit a try. Once I got older and my joints wouldn't go all the way any fucking way, I adapted that style, and it works pretty good.
But now, being 56, like, what's the training style? I know you backed off on the weights, and you're a lighter body weight, but what is the style? Is it still that penitentiary style? Is it the continuous tension, rapid fire, or is it more paced and controlled? Just because, I don't imagine you trying to get any bigger because you're just trying to be you, which is pretty badass in and of itself.
No, my style now, see, you know, as you know, I've been doing this a long time, and you've been doing what you do for a long time, the master ass whooper, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
My shit ain't working as good as your shit, but I'm working at it.
The toughest son bitch to step inside the squared circle, Mr. Double Birds. Just a bad motherfucker. Well, I've you know, learned a lot of things over all these years. So my style is a combination of all the shit that I've learned over 34 years of lifting weights.
And it's always about working hard, but it's working smarter as well as harder.
Definitely. Work your fucking ass.
Question. Man, you hear all these different systems. You know, a guy wants to hit a body part once a week, okay? Chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, so on, okay? How often you like to hit a body part?
Okay. I'm a very, especially, you know, as much as we travel, when it's hard to get a regular routine in. So I'm a very instinctive motherfucker. I'll go into the gym and, I think I'll train this today.
Yeah.
And if that feels good, sometimes I have I'll do one fucking thing for the whole fucking hour and a half that I'm in there.
Are you shitting me?
Yes, sir.
Straight up?
Fuck yes.
So if you want to just for shits and giggles, if you want to say, man, today I'm gonna bench press for an hour and a half.
That's
straight
it.
Up, that's what you would do.
Yes, sir. I go and do it all the time. I go in there, and if that motherfucking bench press is feeling good that day, I will stay on that motherfucker for an hour and a half and won't do shit else. And all your experts and they'll tell you that that's bullshit. That's not the way to do it. You got to do this and you got to do that. Fuck them.
Right.
Fuck them.
Now, what was the story? I was reading about, I was watching another one of your videos on YouTube. You got to check it out, CT Fletcher on YouTube. At one time, I think you said you trained arms every day.
Every fucking day.
It was damn near like a year. It was a ridiculous amount of time.
Yes.
But straight up, real deal?
Oh, hell yes, real deal. I mean, people knew my birthday, holidays, whatever the fuck, I was going to be in the gym first. And the first half, or the first 30 minutes or so of my workout, I was always arms. Because, you know, like you said, Billy Superstar Graham and guys like that. I mean, that was Larry Scott from bodybuilding days.
Right.
And that was the thing, you know. I mean, and growing up in Compton, we didn't give a fuck about no calves and no shit like that. You got to work fucking arms, man.
Right.
Nobody
had no street cred.
We had no
calves
fucking shorts.
Get you no
no,
street cred.
we had no fucking shorts. No, nobody had no shorts on in Compton. A calf? What the fuck is that?
Hey, man, I was looking in the back here. You got a bunch of old school bodybuilding magazines. They're awesome. I guess Vince Garanda's on the cover one. Were you around? Did you ever meet Vince? Because I heard he was a little bit out there.
Yeah, he was out there.
Did you
from
come
everything.
Him? What was
no,
he about?
I never met him, but I did meet Bill Pearl, another legendary bodybuilder. And, you know, I never got to meet Vince, but I like him because he was out there and people thought he was crazy and, you know, he did some off the wall and things that are not ordinary. And that's me. I like to do shit that everybody else ain't doing.
You ever make the trip down to, I'm sure you know Charles Glass. And all
of course. Charles and I grew up same Compton. Okay. He grew up in Compton, same area. We know the same people.
Well, how often do you make it down to Gold's at Venice?
I used to go all the time. You know, I was really, really, really into it. But I got my own fucking gym now, so I still...
And we're right here at Iron Addicts.
That's it, Iron Addicts Gym, the hardest core gym on the fucking planet.
And everybody was working out like a motherfucker when I got here. I was like, man, this shit's got good energy.
Yes, sir.
That's part of a gym.
I'm fucking talking to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hey, you wanted to go, before we go back, I know you want to talk a little bit more about some pro wrestling, but
yes,
just going back to the bodybuilders of today, and going back and look at some of the classic pictures you have on the magazines, and of course, you know, being Schwarzenegger to me, one of the greatest physiques of all time. That kind of that classic style,
yes,
of body was kind of king to me. Serge Oliva also,
yes,
and Bill Pryor, you mentioned him. Some of those guys, then man, the dude from Atlanta, god dang, 8-time, 9-time Mr. Olympia,
Lee Haney.
Lee Haney,
yes.
Okay, those guys, and then Dorian Yates still
yes.
a little bit kind of Biggie size, but taking it too far now. I mean, it's just gone to kind of a level where it's like, man, back in the day when you see, like, you go watch Pumping Iron, you see those guys out there, Ken Waller and them guys, and Robert Robinson tossing the football on the football field. It's like, man, that's some good shit there.
Yeah, right.
But these days, it's like, God damn, how much can the body take?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that when you get to where you are actually injecting fluids and shit in your muscles.
Synthol?
Yeah, synthol, thank you. It kind of becomes disfigured, and they're going a little bit, and I'm the king of saying that there's no such thing as too fucking big, because I don't think it's possible for a fucking muscle or a human being to be too goddamn big. I don't think it's possible. But when you start distorting it and having lumps and shit that just, are not supposed to be there, lump where a lump ain't supposed to be, then it's getting a little bit ridiculous.
Right. You said you want to talk a little bit about pro wrestling.
You goddamn right.
Well, go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
As you may not know, the old Superman from Compton trained to be a pro wrestler at one time.
What derailed your attempt?
I will tell you what happened, Steve. They found out. They told me that I would be in a different hotel room every fucking weekend, and I said, fuck that. That little boy over there, he was a little baby right then. I wanted to be around and see him grow up, and I said, fuck it, I can't do all the traveling.
So you had designs or aspired to be a pro wrestler?
Oh, like I said, when I was a kid, man, I fucking loved pro wrestling. I also want to say this. I'll tell you this. If you guys don't know already, pro wrestling is hard as fuck. It's hard as fuck. I mean, they used to, and I think they got a little wiser now, because when you have a heavyweight champion go straight from pro wrestling and win the fucking UFC champion, they know that pro wrestlers are actually ass beaters in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that from being in the ring with some of them. Those motherfuckers will fuck you up. You can say, oh, that's fake if you want to, and your fucking teeth might be laying on the floor.
Man, and back in the day when wrestling was perceived as real, before all the exposés and the business was protected, I mean, there were fighting words.
Right.
These days, it is what it is, but you take great pride in being able to represent your chosen profession, and whether it's professional wrestling, which is a worked sport, here's the thing. In a world of make-believe, you have to make yourself believable. So you can see all that shit. And then back when I was around, see 2 hours of Raw, and like, okay, wow. And all of a sudden that glass broke. And say, all right, that shit just got real right now. Stone Cold's out there. So the thing these days is you make yourself believable.
Exactly.
In a world of disbelief. And so that's how you can actually be real. And that's how you are able to draw money.
Right.
But, man, here's the thing, man, and like you saying, you wanted to watch, your boy grow up.
Yes.
Kids. That was one of the things that I, talk about. People send me emails all the time. Hey, how come you don't talk about your kids any more than you do? And I got 2 daughters, and I don't know them that well. I was always on the road. And so, man, that's part of, the business of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's why you didn't do it.
Exactly.
But you come up... and your dad was a preacher, but you had a rough childhood.
Oh, yeah. It was very rough.
And he was there.
Oh, yeah. He was there, and I wish the motherfucker wasn't. I wish he wasn't, man.
So what was the story? What was the deal with this man that was so rough about him?
Everything, Steve, that normal kids did as a teenager was a fucking sin as far as my dad was concerned. Going to the movies, that was out. He even took the TV, which was our last fucking resort, out of the home for 2 years because he had decided that was a sin. So we didn't, kids, we go to school and they be talking about the movies they seen that weekend, or they went out with some girl that weekend, and we didn't have shit to talk about.
Right.
Because everything was a sin. My dad told me one time I walked the wrong way and fucked me up. I walked the wrong way. Steve, what kind of shit is that, man?
Right.
I was trying to correct my fucking walk for this motherfucker. So he was a loony motherfucker, and I got my ass whooped quite a bit. But he made me, part of him made me the man I am today. I mean, it takes quite a bit to rattle me, because when I went to the Army, I was ready for the Army like a motherfucker.
Right.
Because of how I thought, well, this is a fucking piece of cake. This ain't no harder than my dad. I can do this shit. So he prepared me for life in a lot of ways. So he's not totally a bad guy.
But when did you decide that the Army was going to be your ticket or the path that you wanted to go down? And was it just to get the fuck out of the house, or you didn't have any direction in life? How were you doing? I mean, how was life in Compton, Watts at that time? I mean, were you going to school? Did you get your high school diploma?
Yes, I did. I graduated from David Starr Jordan in 1977, and the biggest motivation, I mean, it was either I was going to kill him or he was going to kill me.
It was at that level.
It was at that level, one of the two. And my dad had a rule that everybody had to be home for dinner. We all had to sit around at the dinner table. We'd sit there not saying a fucking thing because we didn't have nothing to talk about. But we had to be there. When he got home from work, we had to sit there and eat dinner together. And I decided that I wasn't going to eat dinner that fucking day. I was 16 years old. My mom said, oh, shit, your dad's going to be home at 4 o'clock. So you better get here. And I'm like, you know what? Not today. Because just the week before he had broke my nose. Yeah. And I was, I was still pissed off about that.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I went out, Steve, and I bought a gun. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to eat dinner today. I'm not going to eat dinner with this motherfucker today. Right. And she said, well, yeah, I'll have to tell him, that you decided not to be here. And I wrote down on a piece of paper the address where I would be at. I said, I'll be right here. But if you love that motherfucker, if you want to see him this evening, I wouldn't send him over there if I was you. And I love my mama to death, but I had to tell her I was fed up.
Right.
That was it. I decided I wasn't going to take no more ass whoopings.
How old were you?
I was 16.
And that was a real deal. That was
the real deal.
If he showed up.
Oh yes. I was prepared to kill him that day.
Now you talk about growing up with a brother. Was it a younger brother?
His older brother.
Older.
Yes.
Was it two of y'all or more?
I had a younger brother that's I think he's 17 years younger than me, so he didn't really grow up with me.
Okay. What about the older brother? Well, what path did he go down? When did he decide to leave the house?
That was a strong son of a bitch, but for some reason, Steve, him and my dad, he could get along with my dad a lot. He got ass whoopings too,
right.
But he could get along with my dad a lot more than me. And my dad told me one day in front of the congregation, as a matter of fact, he stood up in church and he said, that kid right there, I hate him. And the reason I hate him is because we're so much alike. He told me that the reason he hated my guts was because I was just like him.
Really?
Yes, just like him.
Well, why would he? Now, see, I grew up down in South Texas, and it's funny, when you talk about, disciplining kids these days, man, you talk about a belt. I mean, oh, no. Yeah. Man, we used to get our ass whipped like a motherfucker. My dad could swing a belt, but that's as far as that went.
Right.
Obviously, it was on a much more extreme level for you.
Yeah, I mean, but nowadays, if you talk about whooping them with a belt, they want to lock you up.
Yeah, I like the way I was brought up. I mean, it taught me a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But being on the extreme end of that, I mean, so how did that help you as a father now? I mean, is that one of the things you knew you wasn't going to do because?
Well, let me
how did
tell
that
you.
Impact you psychologically? Because, man, that's fucked up.
Yeah, let me tell you, Steve. Like you said, you didn't know your daughters growing up because it was on the road all the time. When I first came a dad at 18 years old, I still fucked up. I was still fucked up, and I thought that if I treated my children better than I got treated, then I was doing, a good job.
Right.
But I was still fucked up because, I'm 300-some pounds. I never hit them with a belt.
Right.
But I would spank them on the back of their hand, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is nothing compared to what I get. But I was 325 and strong as fuck, and my kids told me when they got grown, they said, my fucking hand was about numb. You about to kill me with the fucking hand. And I thought that was nothing compared to what happened to me, but it was still fucked up.
Right.
So I started out, a fucked up path, because I thought it was, I compared it to how I grew up. But by the time my youngest son, Samson, came around, then I realized I had it a lot better, and I realized my mistakes with the older kids, and I never whooped him.
Hey, going back to some of the YouTube videos that you've made, dude, you started out doing this a long time ago when you were a heavy-set power lifter, and you just very well-spoken, you never cursed. because you said, because when the camera's rolling, you got to, just keep it clean.
Yeah.
And it was a different day and age.
Exactly.
And so, but you've always talked like that, and I've always talked like I've talked.
Yeah.
And that's why I have my family-friendly show and the Unleashed show where I can say whatever I want to. But now, how do people take you? I mean, sometimes the world's a goddamn PC. It just makes me.
I'm like,
man, what
I
the
want to
fuck?
throw the fuck
Can
up
we
sometimes.
be any more pussified than we are at this stage in time?
Thank you. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation.
There you go. And that's where I say it as well. But anyway, but that's who you've always been.
Yes.
So now it's part of who you are.
Yes.
And it's your calling card.
Yeah. It's just like you see, when the cameras were rolling and you were doing an interview, you couldn't cuss. I know you couldn't cuss, but I could fucking tell as one cusser to another that it was there. When Stone Cold Steve Austin threw up the double birds, I know he was saying, fuck all you motherfuckers. I know it.
There's a lot of things people used to always ask, hey, man, what do you say when you get on top of them turnbuckles? And I would say, man, it basically, because you're on a power trip because all that.
Yeah, fuck
and so it was basically a bunch of four-letter words.
Yeah.
You got that shit right, all right, motherfuckers, But, I wasn't Mike, so I could get away with it.
Right.
If you read my lips,
that's
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, and like you and your brother was sitting there, trying to invent cuss words, or you spoon-headed motherfucker. Or I was watching your YouTube video. Richard Pryor was very inspirational to me because he was one of the guys that I grew up, and obviously you did too, grew up listening to. Eddie Murphy to a degree, and George Carlin, but Richard Pryor specifically. And my dad was a great cusser as well, and he let it flow when he needed to. But Richard Pryor was a guy that and I've always gravitated to his style of comedy, but when he cussed, it was like, it's a silver-tongued devil.
That's
because it wasn't offensive.
Yeah, no,
It was just like, man, that's who he is and that's how he talks.
Yep.
It's totally cool.
It was fucking poetry, man. I loved Richard Pryor as a kid growing up listening to him. Of course, we had to sneak and do it.
Oh, yeah.
But, it was fucking poet. He was the master. He was the master of cussing. And I always appreciate good cussing.
I do, too. What's the gym protocol over here at Iron Addicts?
Well, Iron Addicts is the place that you can come and be your motherfucking self. As you see, there's fucking cuss words on the wall over here. And
fuck pity.
Yes, sir. We reserve the right to refuse service to any fucking body, and that includes your punk ass. It's right on the wall over there. So, I mean, you know when you come in here that you won't be kicked out for saying fuck, or if you're doing something extremely heavy, and, as we do sometimes, you miss a lift, somebody miss a lift, and they'll be, fuck. I used to do it in competition. They'd be like, oh, no. You can't do that. You can't say that. Well, here's the place you can be your goddamn self. I want to be the hardest core training facility on the planet. Here you can come here and just, let it fly.
And that being said, let me speak, because some people are so intimidated to go into a new gym or a different gym, and all of a sudden you walk in and there's some badass artwork on the walls. But everybody here is very polite.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there's respect, but you can be yourself, and it is a hardcore gym. There's so many gyms these days it's turned into, goddamn. I mean, fitness is almost an overstatement.
They fucking serving donuts on Fridays and shit, and fitness fucking this and fitness. You can do it. I mean, it's just fucking. I can't believe this is the kind of place that I grew up. Fucking. I got my. Fucking upholstery is fucked up. It's sweat and it's hard work, and I want this atmosphere to be one of hardcore. When you walk this motherfucker, you know it.
Hey, you talked about, briefly, you thought about being a professional wrestler, but all of a sudden you got the grind, and you heard about the travel schedule. Say, hey, not so much, but you did want to throw some hands. You started training for boxing.
Oh yeah.
And at one point you was going to fight, or maybe had a chance to fight, Billy Blanks.
Yeah, Billy Blanks. I was had earned my black belt in Taekwondo in the service, and I wanted to come out and be the fucking Bruce Lee and middleweight champion of the world, all wrapped up in fucking one. And I was 165 pounds, and I thought I was a bad motherfucker. Oh man! I entered the tournament. I entered the tournament, and I liked it. I liked fighting, but the way I grew up, I had a fucking hot head, so I didn't have the control necessary. Motherfucker kicked me upside the head, and it was so pretty. I admired the shit myself. I didn't see it. It was so fucking fast, but I admired the way he did the shit. But it pissed me off And at this time, it was tournament fighting, so you get a point or whatever, and they start. And when that some bitch kicked me upside the head, I forgot all about it. Every fucking thing I learned, all that shit went out the window. And I went Compton on him, see, and I went off and motherfucker, and I was disqualified.
Okay, tell me what happens when you go Compton on a motherfucker in a tournament.
Oh, they tell your ass to take a seat.
So what'd you do to him?
Oh, I threw every fucking thing that I had. I threw at him as fast as I possibly could, because this motherfucker was fast. Yeah. And it was a bunch of hooks and a bunch of, a whole bunch of stuff that I wasn't supposed. Everything was honor and respect. You bow to your opponent. All that shit went out the window.
Now, back in the day, growing up in Compton, Watts. I mean, what was it? I mean, were you on the streets? Were you fighting?
I was, yes, definitely. That was the fist fighting.
Right.
Was the thing back then.
But wasn't this back in the day when you could just get in a fist fight before the guns?
Yes.
And
I'm old enough.
Whole different world.
Yes, I am old enough to remember. I've come from both areas. I remember when it switched from the toughest guy, the leader of the gang, was the best fist fighter, to the guns. Until I had a gun pulled on me in the 9th grade. Was the first time a guy pulled a gun on me in the 9th grade. So
now, how was that come to Jesus meeting when you're looking down?
The
gun?
Oh yeah, that was a experience that I'll never forget.
Right,
it's clear as a bell. Yeah. And he read my mind, because he told me, he said, if you start running, I'm gonna shoot your ass. And he, like I said, he was clairvoyant, because running was the fucking first thing on my motherfucking mind as soon as he pulled that pistol out.
So what did you do?
I started negotiating. That's where I became a good negotiator right there on the spot. I'm like, hey, look, man, we don't have to go here.
Right.
I started talking, yeah.
But when you do not have the gun, you do not dictate the terms. What did he want from you? What was he physically?
An apology.
Oh, okay.
He wanted an apology. He was dating my girlfriend. Well, actually, she, was his girlfriend.
Right, yeah.
But I didn't find out about it until that day. So, I was pissed off, and I said a whole bunch of derogatory things about his mom and a few other of his relatives.
Yeah, man, you can't go to mom.
I went to mama.
Yeah.
And he wanted, he wanted an apology, and I didn't want to give it to him. But when he pulled that snub nose 38 out. He became sir.
Yeah. Maybe after all, you're all right. I'm sorry about your mama.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the gun that you bought that you was ready to do business with? Had your father showed up and your mom give him that address when you were 16? What happened to that gun?
Well, you know what? I left it in the trunk of my 1967 Chevy, which was my first car when I went into the service, and I don't know what the fuck happened to it after that. See, it was under the trunk of that car when I left.
What are you doing with your workouts every day? Because Iron Addicts, I mean, that's as we would say in the business, that's a shoot for you. That's who and what you are.
Right.
I mean, you still live to train and be around these young men and women to help them reach their goals.
Well, yeah, that's my everywhere I get to travel. I'm blessed now. I get to travel all over the world. And I hear people yelling at me, hey, what did Junior Miles say in Russia or England or something? I fucking love it. My biggest thing now is motivating other people. I have done, just like you have done everything there is to do inside the professional wrestling ring.
Right.
So now I just mentor these kids that are coming up, and I try to motivate them a little and talk a little shit and tell them about what I used to do.
Right.
But every once in a while, Steve, I have to remind them motherfuckers that I may be old and rusty and just for men, but I'm still CT motherfucking Fletcher.
Right.
And I can get in there with them sometime.
Hey, tell me about some of the clothing line you have, because you got some great T-shirts out there.
Fuck excuses.
Fuck excuses, and your website is ctfletcher.com.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and mention that, ctfletcher.com. What's the CT stand for?
Oh, god damn. He done hit below the belt right there.
It's 2020 on this motherfucker, Geraldo Rivera.
He done hit below the belt, and I know you motherfuckers want to know, but you're going to have to look at the Master Plan movie, the C.T. Fletcher life story, in order to find the fuck out exactly.
And when's that going to come out?
That's coming out September.
Yep.
At the Mr. Olympia contest, the debut of the documentary, C.T. Fletcher. And if you want to know what C.T. stands for, motherfucker, look at the movie.
Yeah, no, I can dig that, but okay, since I got a non-answer on that. Yeah. But what brought about the movie? Did you say, hey, man, I want to film a movie about my life, or someone approached you and said, man, you got a badass story. Let's document this and talk about it?
That's exactly what happened. I mean, I was shocked because I seen the movie Generation Iron, and I thought it reminded me of Pumping Iron. The original, it's the Generation Iron is the Pumping Iron of today.
Okay.
And I like the movie, fucking weightlifting. We don't like shit that's got
right.
weights in it anyway. And they approached me, and they thought that my little story was, compelling enough to make a documentary. And I fucking couldn't be happier, man. I can't believe my life now.
Obviously, you're a smart guy, and you came out of the military. But have you always had the gift for gab? Because and watching your videos again, C.T. Fletcher's, find him on YouTube. You're a born talker. You would have been great if you wouldn't done pro wrestling. You would have been a great promo guy. Have you always had a gift for gab, or were you shy as a kid, or just always outspoken?
Well, I was always outspoken to the people who knew me. Guys that trained with me 20, 25 years ago, they know that what they see is just,
right.
I've been saying it for fucking 30 years,
right.
And they know. But just like your friends that really know Steve Austin know that you are a connoisseur of the four-letter words and that, you're very good at what you do, the best. But that's for people that really know you. The audience
right.
is different. I had to be a different guy back then, but now this fucking YouTube shit came along, I can be my motherfucking self.
All right, I'm at Iron Addicts Gym. It's in the LBC. If you need a badass place to build some muscle and do some shit, check his place out. C.T. Fletcher, the movie about you is going to come out when?
September. The Mr. Olympia should be debuting at the Mr. along with the C.T. Fletcher signature series of supplements. And
you can find him on Twitter at C.T. Fletcher.
Twitter is C.T. Fletcher. ISYMFS.
That's what I was saying a while ago. It's your set, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's still your set, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right.
And the website is ctfletcher.com.
ctfletcher.com, ISYMFS.com.
And that's the bottom line, because that's all I got to say about that.
That's the bottom line. What? What? God damn, I like what he did there.
All right, talking to C.T. Fletcher, we're out.
Thank you for joining us for another classic episode of The Steve Austin Show. Please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and tell your friends. For more Steve Austin Show, go to PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
Stream the biggest movies and TV shows for free on Pluto TV. Watch movies like Titanic and G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra, plus TV shows like CSI and Star Trek: The Next Generation. Starting this month, check out the 24/7 Stargate channel exclusively on Pluto TV. Plus hundreds of channels and thousands of movies and TV shows absolutely free. Download the free Pluto TV app on your favorite streaming device and start watching today.
Look out! Join me every week for the Michael Irvin Podcast. The Michael Irvin Podcast, the MIP.
Now the MIP exists. The MIP.
Okay, I got to make sure you got something to show.
What? Where's Michael? He's holding out. What do you mean he's holding out?
Fine. Hey, it's the Playmaker. I ain't available right now. I said the Playmaker's not available for you.
I will give you my Playmaker of the Week. Take the spotlight sometimes off of all these quarterbacks and put the spotlight on some of those guys that make the quarterbacks. T-I-R-E-D, put it together. T-I-R-E-D. I get tired. That's the love.
That's the Michael Irvin I love right there,
What's
man.
that?
Yeah.
Download new episodes of the MIP, the Michael Irvin Podcast, every Thursday on Apple Podcasts, PodcastOne, and Spotify.
That's the Michael Irvin Podcast. I am the Playmaker, Michael Irvin.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Big Brother Jake, a.k.a. Jake Warner, my government name. Check it out. I host a show called the Big Brother Jake Podcast, and I've taken my talents to the biggest and baddest platform on the planet. That's right, baby, PodcastOne. My show is unique as I talk about everything. Life, sports, entertainment, being a single dad juggling several jobs. I'm a hot mess, but it's damn entertaining. Subscribe and review now on Apple Podcasts and listen on PodcastOne or wherever you get your podcasts.